Since spring 2022, New York has been grappling with a profound migrant crisis, seeing over 100,000 people arriving and pushing the city's shelter capacity to its limits. These individuals, fleeing from hardships such as political unrest, economic collapse, and violence in countries like Venezuela, Haiti, and Cuba, have necessitated emergency housing solutions, including tents, and have put significant financial strain on the city. The cost associated with housing migrants is projected to exceed $4.3 billion by July 2024, a sizable portion of New York's budget. But how can this situation be resolved? And when will such a resolution be completed by? The migrant crisis has been precipitated by a combination of factors related to international and national dynamics, as well as specific city-level challenges. Many migrants arriving in New York have fled from countries experiencing significant political instability, economic collapse, or violence. Notably, the crisis in Venezuela, ongoing issues in Haiti following the 2010 earthquake, and exacerbated by gang violence and economic troubles in Cuba have led to a significant exodus of people from these nations. Other factors in Latin America include inequality, hunger, and criminal violence in regions like southern Mexico and northern Central America, as well as climate change-related disasters. The growth of both legal and illegal networks that facilitate migration, alongside increased access to information about U.S. labor shortages and wages through social media, has made it easier for migrants to embark on the journey to the United States. These networks provide the logistical support needed for migration, while social media platforms offer insights into potential opportunities in the U.S., encouraging more people to make the move. Migrants are also influenced by perceptions of U.S. immigration policy, including the belief that they may find asylum or be allowed to stay in the country due to certain policies or legal loopholes. The complex and often politicized nature of U.S. immigration law can create misconceptions about the ease of entering and staying in the country. The crisis has prompted political disagreements and heightened calls for state and federal assistance. New York Governor Kathy Hochul has proposed spending $2.4 billion to help shelter and feed over 160,000 migrants, acknowledging the scale of the issue and the need for significant resources. Mayor Eric Adams has placed the potential cost of the crisis at $12 billion by summer 2025, emphasizing the broken state of the national immigration system and the disproportionate burden shouldered by New York. The city has criticized the lack of support from federal and state governments to manage the crisis effectively. Adams has highlighted the disproportionate burden placed on New York to deal with national and international migration trends, calling for more assistance to provide for the thousands of migrants in the city's care. Unique among large U.S. cities, New York has a legal mandate to provide shelter to anyone in need, known as the Right to Shelter Law. This policy, while rooted in humanitarian concerns, has made the city an attractive destination for migrants entering America. In response to the ongoing crisis, city officials have implemented policies such as limiting shelter stays for single adults and actively seeking to discourage new arrivals by highlighting the city's high cost of living and limited housing availability. These measures, however, have sparked controversy and concern among housing and immigrant advocates who warn of the potential for increased street homelessness and the challenges migrants face in finding affordable housing in one of the world's most expensive cities. Adams has been vocal in seeking more support from the federal government to manage the crisis, indicating that without adequate support, New York City could face a substantial financial burden. The crisis requires coordinated efforts between the city, state, and federal governments. This includes not only financial support but also policy coordination to ensure that measures taken at different levels complement rather than contradict each other. Establishing a task force or working group that includes representatives from various government levels and key stakeholders can improve collaboration and effectiveness. Efforts to provide immediate relief, such as expanding shelter capacity, increasing access to food and health care, and providing legal assistance, can offer short-term solutions to the challenges faced by migrants. Many migrants are in limbo due to the lengthy asylum process and the inability to work legally. Expediting work authorizations for migrants can help them become self-sufficient and alleviate some of the financial burdens on the city. Part of the challenge stems from broader issues with the national immigration system. Given these factors, the timeline for solving the New York migrant crisis is uncertain. The complexity of the issue means that progress will likely be incremental and require sustained effort from all stakeholders involved. Solving the crisis involves addressing the root causes that drive migration, such as political instability, economic hardship, and climate change in the migrants' home countries. This requires international cooperation and efforts to support development and stability in those regions. These efforts are long-term and require collaboration beyond the United States. If you have found this video from the channel interesting, please subscribe and see some of the other videos from the channel on screen now. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.